I'm Elise. I'm based out of Houston, Texas. I'm 24, and this is Financial Audit.
What do you do in Houston for a living?
I'm a cashier at HEB.
Oh, this explains. Okay, so I was
all those HEB purchases, those are my taquitos.
Like, yeah, your taquitos, dude. You're going crazy, and I wouldn't.
You got me.
So if we're cashiering at HEB, what are we making an hour?
$17.40.
If we're making $17.40, how many hours a week?
About 25 to 30.
Okay, so 25 and 30.
But here's the thing. I'm studying for the LSAT to go to law school, so that takes up a lot of time as well.
Okay, so that takes up time. I'm okay with you working a little less hours if we're studying for that to get into a law school to do the career we want to do. But if we're doing that, why are you going crazy with your spending?
That's a question I don't really have an answer to.
Oh, you gotta have an answer to that. If HEB pays you, why are you giving them money when you can't afford to simply live?
I guess it's convenient since I'm already there. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be here anyway, so it doesn't kill to buy a bottle of water or whatever.
Bottle of water?
Well, not only.
Are you not allowed to have, like, an actual water bottle?
Yeah, we are. I have one, but I go through it quickly.
So you refill it? I've been to many HEBs. I know there's an employee section. I've walked by water fountains, personally on the way to the bathroom. Is that less convenient than grabbing a water bottle, checking it out, bringing out the card, swiping?
Not really. It's not, how do I say it? It's not less convenient. No, I understand your point.
Then why are we not doing it?
Don't really.
Oh, come on. Why are you making the active choice to do it? I know I'm digging into you right off the bat. But that's only because you just said you work there. I was going to ask about all those purchases, but the moment I heard you work at HEB, and we're going and spending multiple, endless, just swipe every second of our life, it's like, what the f*** are we doing? They're supposed to be giving you money you can save up, so you can survive. Yes, but then you give them money right back.
Yeah, you're right. I understand what you're saying.
But you won't tell me why, though.
I mean,
I need your why.
I mean, I can't really come up with a why other than I'm just planned poorly.
Yeah. Okay. Is it laziness?
Yeah.
Okay, so laziness would be the why. Have we never set... So every month, we're going through, we're missing payments on debts. We're not having enough money in our checking account to survive. How is laziness an option in that situation?
If I'm being honest, I still live with my dad. I graduated college in May and I moved in back home. But I live with my dad, so I haven't really, how do I say it? Had to be responsible, if that makes sense.
Don't you have to be, though? You're missing payments on your credit cards.
I do. I do have to be responsible.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's the you don't have to be responsible? So, I mean, sure, okay. If we're not being responsible and we're just like, okay, we're just spending money because we don't have to pay rent, like that's a thing. But right now you're missing payments.
Right.
On a contract that you signed for multiple cards and you're not having enough in checking account.
Correct.
So since May, right? Is that what you said?
I graduated in May, yes.
Okay. So since May, why have we not sat down once and been like, okay, here's what's going out on a monthly basis?
I've recently done that, like I said, over the last month when I found your channel, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm spending money poorly.
And since then?
I sat down and like I budgeted and like I have my iPad, so I went through and seen everything that I have, all the debt I have, what I'm spending, stuff like that.
So we had $1,348 come in.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
If you weren't living with your dad, that's not livable.
At all, no.
Now you're trying to go to law school. Any specific, or does it matter?
Yes. Is it specific? I want to go to a good law school, but yeah, that's debatable on what's good. So.
And also, how much does that matter in the world of law?
It matters a lot. It's not like going to undergrad and getting a degree from anywhere. It doesn't matter. Getting a degree from anywhere in undergrad is fine for the admissions process, but where you go to law school gives you access, opportunity, prestige, stuff like that.
Okay. So if we go to a good law school, probably going to like a private law school, I'm assuming.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so a good public one.
Like UT is one. UT is one
okay.
here in Austin. That's one. Another one is the University of Michigan. That's a public one.
And that's out of state.
Very far, yes.
Yes.
Virginia, that's another one.
Out of state. So this all of a sudden becomes very expensive if we're getting overdrafted multiple checking accounts and we're not even able to pay our credit cards. How in the possible are we paying for law school?
Basically, loans. That's what my parents want me to do. And if I do it well enough on the LSAT, I'll get scholarship.
Yeah, but your parents, why do we care what they want you to do?
Basically,
I mean, your life is your life.
That's true. But living with my dad, like a part of his agreement is I have to go to law school or basically I have to move out. And he wants me to stay in Houston, but I don't really want to stay in Houston unless I have to. But that's his big thing. He went to college and he got several degrees and he's like, your future is much brighter than mine. That's what I told him. And like recently,
I don't give a shit about him. This is your life.
I told my mom I want to work for a couple of years so I can pay off all these debts and then go to law school when I'm ready. And she was like, that's not smart. You need to go as soon as you can. I'm like, Mom.
Are they wealthy?
No, we're very much suburban and middle class.
Okay, so they sound like, the people we should be listening to?
No, they're not. And
exactly. So why do you care? I mean, I get why you care, but why are you listening?
Because I don't want to live on my own because I can't afford it.
Well, you said if you worked for a couple of years to pay off the debt, I could get you to the point where what'd you graduate with in undergrad?
Political science.
I mean, we could get you a job in a sector that has high demand still. Is it the dream job? Probably not, but only for a couple of years. You could have an apartment on your own in the Houston area or wherever. And we could start paying off these debts and we could have enough money in our checking account. I'm sorry, but I want you to go to law school. That's fantastic. And even if you borrow a little, I mean, depending on how we're doing some things, there can be good return on investments. That's a nuanced conversation. But with the money habits that we are about to go into, with where you're at right now and how you're operating, you just taking on an endless stream of student loans to go to law school means you are just dying in debt.
And that's something else. My dad, like I said, went to school, got all 3 of these degrees. He's still $100,000 in student loan debt 20 years later.
Again, him, he doesn't
But
know.
he's saying that's okay for me to do. And I'm like,
he's an addict of school. He's an addict of school. He's just one of the classic. I love college. College is a great path, and there's smart ways to go about it. There's stupid ways to go about it, but there's some people that only assume that going to college, getting the degree is what equals success, and having that degree, having that piece of paper is what they clamor to for the rest of their life. I don't give a shit. The fucking success you make on your own, showing what you build in your life, not just a piece of paper that comes from your past, is actually what determines your success. So I don't give a shit about his opinion. I don't give a shit about what he says. This is your life, not his life. We're not doing something to make someone else proud. We're doing something for you. And again, if you want to go to law school, that's awesome. Let's absolutely do it. But with what we're about to go through here now, you just continuing down the path of just taking out any debt possible is going to lead to a situation where I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your score? 0 out of 10.
Oh, it's
a financial score.
It's a straight up 0. The only caveat is I have a small contribution to a 401k.
How much?
Literally like $300. I just started this year.
Small indeed. Okay. Well, why are we even contributing? It doesn't make sense.
There's a match.
Okay. So we owe on a Capital One card. Let's get into this, Cass. This is about to just be crazy. Okay, so we owe $540.51 with a minimum monthly payment of $25 and interest accrued of $13.04. Off the bat, I do have to ask, out of curiosity, just a little curiosity, why the possible are we spending money on a card that we're not able to pay off that is accruing interest? It's a question that I've asked 1,000 people, and yet somehow it still comes here and ends up on this desk.
Well, when I was in college, I took that card out. And my logic was, well, I'm getting my student loan refunds and I'm getting all my scholarship and grant money. I can just pay it off. But no, that did not happen. And here it is 6 months later. That
did not answer the question. This is something you just did. Why are you spending $227.97 on a card that you cannot pay off that is accruing interest?
Oh, wow. I didn't even know it was that much. Okay.
So, okay, you have not sat down once and looked at your money in any way whatsoever, have you? You don't even know what you're spending?
Not really, no. I kind of avoid the statements.
I get that. I mean, when we know we're in a bad place, it can be anxiety-inducing to get over that hump to actually take the look. So let me take that look for you.
Okay.
Taquitos, Wingstop, Starbucks, Taquitos, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Taquitos, Chick-fil-A, Taquitos, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Taquitos, Chick-fil-A, potential taquitos at Buc-ee's, because you never know. Buc-ee's can be expensive taquitos, or it can just be we're getting gas. I'm not 100% sure. And taquitos and some taquitos. I'm sorry, but also not, because this was you doing it.
Right.
But this right there, guys, that right there. Mm-hmm. You already have a car.
Oh, that's gas. Oh, the Buc-ee's one. I see
the Buc-ee's one. Okay, yeah, I didn't highlight it though. Mm-hmm. But the highlighted stuff right here is bull. It's fucking around. It's things we don't need to be spending on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 25. People always ask me, what high yield savings account do I use for my own money? Some of you know by now it's SoFi. I love them. It's great for my checking account needs. It's great for my high yield savings account needs. And right now I'm getting 4.5% interest on my monies. I love that rate on my monies. So if you want to get a great rate like that on your monies, just check out the link in the description below. I have a paid affiliate link there. You can get bonuses all the way up to $250, and I took advantage of that, and you should too. 4 out of the 25 are purchases I could consider okay, whether it be groceries or gas, and that's what the other ones would be. Mm-hmm. Everything else was f***ing around. We're doing that on a card that we can't pay off, and that is having interest accrued on it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit your face or the audiences either. You're right. I'm spending money that I don't have.
Why is it all going to like you spending though? Like stupid eating out and stuff like that. Why is that where your money's going right now? That's a good every day of your life.
I don't really have an answer. It's easy just to swipe or tap my card and keep it moving. And like I said, most of those are just poor planning.
So I think that comes to the laziness aspect, and then maybe just lack of discipline as well around that. 30.49% is the interest rate on this that you're choosing to have, because you're just whatever you pay on it, you're immediately just blowing up again. $81 of interest has been stolen from you this year so far, and $25 of fees, likely a missed payment. Not this statement balance, or not this statement. Did you miss a payment? But probably historically. And why do I think that? Because here, synchrony, immediately. I mean, come on. Why are we not making, how are you missing a payment? How are we going and spending $225 on just Chick-fil-A, taquitos, death? Why are we doing that? But we're just not simply making a minimum monthly payment on a card. You have chosen taquitos. You have chosen Chick-fil-A over actually dealing with the bills that you have signed up to pay. Do you not care?
I do care.
This is not demonstrated.
I do care. Before I really combed through my finances, I was like, well, I'll be honest, I guess I didn't care. But now over the last few months, I'm like, where is all this money like going? And
so if you didn't care before, I'm curious, like, what has made you
graduating college and realizing, I can't survive on my own, and my parents aren't going to help me forever.
So it's the fear surrounding that.
Yeah, and another fear is I want to set myself up now in my mid-20s so I can be in a safer place the rest of my life. So
yeah, that makes sense. Now, okay, you started wanting to change after graduation. This was your most recent statement, though. So this just happened. Yeah. We were just like, nah.
But also during the summer, like I was trying to transfer stores. So that was taking a bit of time, and my store was like an hour away from my house. So I was spending every last dime on like gas. Like every day I was like filling up.
I can sympathize with that if we didn't just look at the statement through the same exact time of you just around and spending money on $250, which you had a minimum monthly payment of $40. You could have paid that
I could have. I chose to ignore it.
There it is. We have a new minimum monthly payment due because of the past due and everything of $117. So normal minimum monthly payment of $40, which is what I'm going to put down. We owe $1,280 on it and 56 cents. Now, $23 of interest is accrued on it, death, and $40 of fees. $40 of fees because you just didn't pay it. And if you only make the minimum payments, if you're not, by the way, you're not even doing that. But if you only do, it's going to take 7 years to pay off, and it's going to charge you an additional $1,250. $1,250 stolen from you. But it's even worse than that because you're not doing it. Total interest this year so far, $284.50.
$300 in just interest? Like I said, yes. I avoid the statement, so I did not.
Well, we're not avoiding it anymore. We're a big girl, and we're going to take care of our life. Because your life matters. Your life actually matters. But in order to actually take control of your life, we have to address some of the issues, which is why you're here. So, right. And then total fees, $180. And if it's $40 per assessed fee, I mean, come on. $189. You've missed almost every payment this year so far.
Yeah.
You're just it's just we've given up. We've just given up on our life, on finances.
Yes and no. I really didn't work very much over the last, from January to March.
Why?
My grandfather passed away, and that was hard, and I was trying to finish college at the same time, and that was hard. That
is very difficult.
So I didn't work from January to mid-March.
Did you try to contact these? No, I don't know if they would have, but sometimes some some banks can have some sympathy if you if you explain what's going on. Did you at least try?
No.
So you just let everything just fall.
Yeah, you could say that.
Credit scores in the 500s, high 500s.
Now it's 640 now. But.
Okay. So we have a Discover It card with $697.84 owed on it. $93 of payments, good. So you made payment, and that was more than the minimum monthly. So that's also confusing because you should have just paid the last one. This is just unorganized and just messing around. $17 of interest accrued. No purchases on this, which thank goodness. And it's a 27.24% interest. You've lost $137 of interest on this card so far, in fees likely from a missed payment of $30 this year so far. TDECU, Credit Union. We owe $2,558.25. Kill me now. I mean, on your income, we can't do that. And then if we're going into law school with all this, it just doesn't make sense.
All of these credit cards I took out while I was in college because I thought, I'm going to pay them off when I get my refunds. But nope, I treated them as debit cards and spent all of that money. So that's...
And the refunds anyway is still money you owe.
Some of it.
What? You're talking about the rest from Pell Grants?
Yeah, I got Pell Grants and they're COVID grants, and I had a few scholarships. So truthfully, I could have paid for it, but nope, I took out loans.
Yes, we'll get there. $25 of late fees. Another account with late fees. This just demonstrates that, I'm sorry, we just don't give a shit. You said you started giving a shit at graduation, but this just happened.
Yeah.
You have not demonstrated that you care at all. $29 of interest stolen from you, $30 essentially, and $25 of fees.
Truthfully, if I'm being honest, while I was, like I said, I was in college when I took most of these out, I didn't really care about the fees and stuff. I cared about impressing my classmates and boys.
No, I know, but that was in college when you took this out. True. This just happened in terms of you not paying. I am not going to bully you for something you did in college, taking out the cards. I am going to bully you for what you're doing right now as a wake-up call. Because if anyone needs a wake-up call that I've talked to recently, I'm sorry, it's you. That's because I care about you and do not let me for a single second care about your situation more than you do. Because your future matters.
It does, a lot.
13.99% interest on this. I mean, it's still disgusting, but compared to normal credit card rates, it's not the worst. But your balance is, of course, aggressively $125 of fees. So that means you've missed 5 payments this year so far on here based on their fees that we just saw. 5 payments. 5. So for more than half the months of this year so far.
Caleb, I just told you I didn't work 5 of these months this year. So
yes, but you are working the month that we just looked at. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Let's not try to justify. $264 of interest charged this year.
Oh,
so we've
God.
had well over $1,000 of interest dragged from your life and existence.
I'm not ready for that one. I know it. Oh, Lord.
Yes, this one
They're finna get on my about this
insanity.
one. I got this car last May when the car market was high. I walked into the dealership all by myself because my car, the one that I had, broke down basically. So I was like, I can sell this and use the down payment. I could basically just let the car salesman just run my credit. And I was like, whichever one I get approved for, just do it. But I got approved for several, but I was just ready to
want to get approved
leave.
for, just do it.
Yeah. And now here I am with that high interest rate.
I didn't capture the minimum monthly payment for the TCU.
I think it's like 51.
Oh my gosh. On the TCU, you're over the credit card limit of $58. I didn't even see that. $87. So you walked. Why didn't you try to go with someone?
I was trying to hide it from my parents.
It sounds like your dad's addicted to debt anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah, that's just true. Yeah.
He injects that into his veins, student loans all day.
And now it's been passed down to me, but I'm got to take responsibility.
Absolutely. Late charge.
My car note is high as I can't afford it.
You're right. You can't afford it. You shouldn't have gotten it. Why have you not sold it?
Here's the thing. I'm going to be underwater with the loan. I've looked up the value with the car. I'm going to be underwater like $8,000-$9,000.
Mm-hmm. There's methods to do it. We'll take a look.
With no savings, so.
I know. There's methods to do it. The interest rate I could not find on the statement. What's the interest rate of this? Oh, please.
17.17.
$23,812 is owed on it. Late fees because they're just not even making the payments, even though you have no rent. And I'm sorry, I know you're studying a lot, but when we're trying to pay off debt, if we're actively trying and we're trying to make it in life and hit these goals, we work 40 hours a week and then we study an additional 40 hours a week. It's just not an option. You have no other life but just grinding because you've around for so long that now you have to pay for that. And that sucks. I'm sorry, but that is the reality of the situation.
It is. And now I'm realizing I have to take accountability for my actions and work to fix them. And So.
What's the term on this? Do you know how many months?
It was 72. 6 years.
Ruined my life.
It's till September 2028.
It's a 2020 Toyota Corolla. Any damage? Anything?
Not really, no.
Let's check the value.
It's about 16,000.
Well, you tried to hide it from your parents, but now this is in his driveway every day. What does he think?
The same as you. He was like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, what? So I was a bit confused.
I'm seeing it go about 17,000.
Depending on where you look, yeah.
Yeah. On private sale.
I didn't even think about that. I looked at the one for a dealership.
That's its KBB value. And KBB these last few years have actually undervalued things. I don't know if they are anymore, but it also depends on, of course, the actual version of the car. But so what we would do in this situation usually is, okay, so you'd be underwater $5,000, just about. What we do, instead of you having to pay $23,000 on the 17%, because this would be such a big change for you, $10,000 is a lot. We could save you $10,000 by you borrowing $15,000 personal loan. 5 of that 15 goes to fully paying this off. The sales price and the 5.
Okay.
The $10,000, this would be like a personal loan. You'd be able to qualify at your credit score. The interest rate's going to be death, but you're already at death. You get a $10,000 car. That's the finessing that would have to be done when underwater. And compared to a lot of other people that bought it in a high car market, you're actually not underwater drastically.
Okay.
This is bad. Yeah. And you can't afford this.
At all.
It's as simple as that. Not on this income, at least. I think you could be making more money. I think you could utilize your degree.
Honestly, I'm a bit complacent, comfortable in doing this job for like 5 years. So
I'm sorry, but
it's easy to do.
We're not comfortable anymore. It just can't be a thing. That only you can change that. I can't do that for you. I can help create a budget and all this stuff, but only you can change your comfort level and what you want to do to actually attack this.
I realize I'm not comfortable anymore after just going through my stuff. And it's like, I've been looking for jobs that are salary paying jobs and whatnot. I just honestly don't know where to look. Like I've been Googling like stuff, but I don't know where to look.
Honestly, the title of this video might be "This is the worst financial situation I've ever seen," because this might be the worst financial situation I've ever seen. It's there's a few up there that are tied. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I really am. But please allow this to be the wake up call. And I need you to give a So this AT&T, what even is this? What is all this that's owed?
It's a phone, an iPad, and an Apple Watch.
You're not even wearing it.
I left it in my car. But yeah, you're right.
Past due $506. When's the last time you made a payment on this thing?
A couple weeks ago. I'm caught up now.
You're caught up now? Mm-hmm. So this is done?
Mm-hmm. No.
No. It's not done, but this is like the past dues are all done on this?
Yes.
What is owed on a normal monthly basis with this?
About $230.
$230?
I was behind like
What's owed in total?
Nothing is owed on the phone because I got trade-in value. About $286 is owed on the watch, and like $900 is owed on the iPad.
No, you don't need an iPad.
I was in school when I got it.
Oh, it's not as good as a laptop anyway. It's like 1,150-ish.
Yeah, I could say that.
What's the interest rate? Is there an interest rate?
There wasn't one, no.
0%, but you're f***ing yourself with the late payments anyway. Do you owe anything on this new phone?
No.
How?
I got a trade-in. Mm-hmm. I got a trade-in value.
And it fully covered?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you killed yourself on this one. This is not something you needed to do. We did not need a watch. I love my Apple Watch. I budgeted it.
Yeah, I didn't need it.
I might just honestly try to sell the Apple Watch.
I tried to return it. They didn't.
Well, return, it's probably not an option. I think we try to sell it.
How?
Facebook Marketplace, something like that.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter. If you can, you said you owe like $250. Mm-hmm. What's the Apple Watch? Mm-hmm. What is it?
I'm not sure.
SE Series 8, 7,
I'm not
9?
sure. I'm really not. I just said I wanted an Apple Watch and the cheapest one, and they got it.
Okay. Well, if we can say anything we want and it just happens, then I'm going to say, please save us all from the chaos of this financial situation and hit subscribe. It'll make me feel better. Hopefully it'll make you feel better, but it'll make me feel better. We're trying to get to like 1 million subscribers. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Maybe 750,000. I don't know if we're there at the time of this, but thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. And I'm sorry you're going through this. Oh, but you always got to call out the subscribe button. So we have a freedom card. Mm-hmm. Yes, so much freedom, owing $1,233. So much freedom. And 10 cents. With a minimum monthly payment of $45, these minimum monthly payments are just ruining your existence. $33 of interest lost on a monthly basis. No purchase is good. $29 of fees this year so far, so we've missed payments, and $201 of interest charged this year so far. Thousands of dollars in the drain this year of interest charged so far, and you've barely even made that much. Then we have student loans. Mm-hmm. Of which, have you set up the minimum the payment? Are you on traditional income? What are you doing?
I'm on a grace period right now because I graduated.
Yeah, for how long?
I graduated, so it's until November. But then after that, I got another grace period already till next May. And then after that,
what's the other grace period for?
You just get another one if you request it after you graduate.
Okay. So minimum monthly payments are not going to start like everyone else.
Correct.
And honestly, I mean, we've talked about income-based repayment here. I mean, and then if you go to law school,
I'm going to defer them again.
well. Mm-hmm. But income-based, like I would almost do it for your situation simply because you cannot afford it.
Correct.
But income-based is a little difficult because a lot of interest accrues during it. And it really seems like they're forgiven per administration. And I don't want you to be...
They are. It just depends on... I know this. It just depends on who's in office at the time and who's running the Department of Education. And
Exactly. And I don't want you to be in a situation when yours come up for forgiveness that is to someone that's like, no, we're not doing that.
And they're very select about who they approve for forgiveness. So
there's just not a really good history of it. It's gotten a lot better recently, but there's really not a good history of it.
Right.
Interest rates.
They're not terrible.
4 or 5%. Yeah, they're not crazy. We ended with $5 in a TDECU checking account. Mm-hmm. We ended with $5. Mm-hmm. We can't survive with $5. Mm-hmm. If we're ending with $5, why are we possibly taquitoing? Why are we possibly taquitoing? Why are we possibly taquitoing and quick quack? Mm-hmm. Probably taquitoing. Honestly, based on all this stuff.
Car wash.
Taquitoing. Yeah. Car wash? Yeah, it's a wash. Why are we washing if we have $5 in a checking account? We're not washing our car. I don't give a shit if your car has this car that you can't even afford. You can't even afford this car. Why are we washing the car that you can't afford washing the car? F you washing the car. We can't afford it.
It's right. It can't be dirty.
Yes, it can be. Who gives a shit what it looks like? You're in it. You can't even see it. Who are you trying to impress that you're pulling up to on a at a stoplight? Mm-hmm. Who are you trying to impress? Mm-hmm. Who gives a shit? If they look at your car, they will not remember it 5 minutes later unless you have like a crazy painting on it or some weird, Yeah, they won't remember. So who cares? Who cares? Who are you doing this for? Yourself? Once you're in your car, you don't see it anyway.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Probably taquitos. ATM withdrawal of $280. Was that $280 going? We have no idea. Chick-fil-A. More ATM withdrawal, $280. Where's it going? No one knows. Taquitos. Cruising. Insufficient funds. Insufficient funds. So you got overdraft. And did you at least try to call them? Get it reversed?
I did. Mm-hmm.
It was reversed.
On that one, yeah. It's kind of easy with a credit union. Yeah.
Oh, total overdraft fees this year so far, $352. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling.
Me too.
Blood pressure is like... But I shouldn't be struggling more than you, though. $398 in another checking account. I'm glad it's at least there. I want it to be at least 1,000 because you never know what's going to hit with automatic payments. But even still, I'm happy it's at least there. What I'm obviously not happy with is taquitos and taking toll roads. We're not taking toll roads when we can't even afford to live. You're affirming things. I did. Taquitos and Paramount.
That was automatic payment. I didn't even know it was there until it came out. And I canceled.
We're getting pho. I love pho, but why are we getting pho when you can't even survive? And taquitos and Dairy Queen and taquitos and taquitos and taquitos and Chick-fil-A and Chicken Express. Checking account. Mm-hmm. Negative $11.69. Mm-hmm. Negative.
Okay, I'll explain. So I have a few checking accounts so I can move money around.
What money?
None, really.
Okay, so why?
So I could try to pay bills, and if I overdraft, some banks are more forgiving than others.
But you're overdrafting everywhere anyway. And you're not making the bills paid. There's no logic. There's no logic. We had to get another car wash. Apparently. Spotify. We can listen to ads while we can't afford to live. And an Apple bill. Oh, double Spotify. Good. Why double Spotify? It lines up. They paid you instead of 28 days, it was 27 days.
Okay.
Total overdraft fees this year so far, $112. $102. We're not even making the payments. Or we have a negative money in our checking account. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm digging into you like crazy, but this is a lot for me to take in. This is hard. This is rough.
It is.
Transportation because of your car, because of gas, because of car insurance is 33% of your spending.
Oh, I don't pay car insurance. My dad does.
You're right. It's your loan. That's pretty much what takes it up. And then a little bit in tolls and a little bit in gas. Transportation, 33.5% of your spending. Phone and internet, probably just those extra. Yeah, it's the iPad and bull. $227, 11.4% of your spending. Bull food, and honestly, this is going to be higher because I think they contributed a lot of the necessary food as your little HEB purchases. They're not. So I think your bull food, your taquitos and all that stuff, add it all together, it's going to be about 25% of your spending. 25% of your spending is stupid because only 18% of your spending. Oh, sorry. No, let's call it about 30% because there's miscellaneous bull. Unknown shopping, 12.4%. Let's see where that went. Unknown shopping. Target, we don't know. Or some other large purchases, we don't know. So we can safely say 30 to 35% of your spending went to bull, when only 18.2% went to debt payments, meaning we could have more than doubled what was actually going to debt. This is an active choice we are making. We are actively choosing to f around instead of actually get our life in order. I would not for a single second go to law school yet.
I'm not ready to. Not just like financially, but also I'm not ready to do all that work yet. When I could do work at a job and pay off my debt.
Yeah, I was going to say, because no matter what, you're going to be working your I'm sorry, but that's the prescription that's about to come. It's not an option. I want you to live the best life ever. I want you to live such a good life. Going down this path that you're going right now is seriously dying in poverty.
I'm going to die on the HEB floor.
Yes. Yeah. God forbid anything like happens where you just can't work. What are you even doing then? Disability is not going to cover
anything.
This is hard. But yes, I would delay law school for a couple of years. I want you to go. I want you to save up. I want you to pay off debt. Go in with an emergency fund, even if we're borrowing some for school that can have a good return on investment if you do it in a smart way. Again, I would prefer something in-state, something public, University of Texas. I wouldn't go private. Even University of Michigan, I know they're a good school. I'm from the state of Michigan.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm from Kalamazoo, so west side. But even still, the return on investment you're going to get on that versus going to University of Texas is going to be essentially nothing. Nothing. It's going to be nothing. Come on, let's be realistic.
It depends on where I live. It depends on what I want to do after.
Yeah, but you're not going to live in Ann Arbor. There's nothing there.
Okay,
so
but if
matter.
I did get a degree in Ann Arbor, I could go work in a state like California, whereas if I got a degree here in Texas, it's not as transferable, if that makes sense.
I think you're overthinking that really aggressively. Yeah, I agree. If you go to like University of Samoa, like Better Call Saul did, or whatever his thing was, yes, that's not going to hold the same weight as University of Texas, University of Michigan. And obviously something like Harvard's going to hold more weight than University of Michigan, University of Texas. University of Texas, University of Michigan, I can't speak on their... First of all, the school ranking things, they're all anyway, because a lot of it depends on...
affirmative action and stuff.
Not just that, but a lot of their rankings isn't even based on the success of graduates. It's like based on how many foreign exchange students are going there and a lot of stuff like that. It doesn't really make sense. But even on their school rankings, can't speak for the law school, but the schools are pretty darn close overall when it comes to comparison to every university. So you are overthinking it. I'm not saying go to some school in the middle of nowhere that is no one's ever heard of. But if we're picking between our future and return on investment, I am picking the University of Texas any day and every day.
And you probably will after I say this. The tuition at University of Texas is about $35 tuition. Tuition at Michigan, even though it's a public school, for in-state students, it's like $70. For out-of-state students, it's only like $75. So it's double what it would be here.
And it's that you're not going to have the return on investment. You're not. The only thing you might miss on is some alumni networks. But University of Texas, anyway, they have the largest endowment of any college in the country. Public, I think. They have what?
Yeah, it might be A&M, but...
No, it's the University of Texas.
It
is the University of Texas.
It doesn't matter.
No, it kind of does to what I'm about to say. If you're chasing the alumni network type thing, the reason why someone has such a big endowment is because the network is huge. There's a lot of rich motherfuckers who are giving money. You're going to be surrounded by a good alumni network all over the country.
And this is going to sound stupid as well, but I also want to go to a bigger school because in undergrad, I really didn't get the college experience. So I kind of want to get that in law school. If that makes sense.
It kind of does to a certain point.
Like I went to a really small school.
But I think for the people, and this is unfortunately a lot of Americans, for a lot of Americans, the best moment in their life is their 4-year in college. And that's incredibly sad and depressing because it means the best years of their life is behind them forever instead of them actually going out and living an amazing life. They just fall into the normal everyday traps of life. And then they just look back to their walkable years on a college campus when they actually had friends instead of living life. You can get a better life if you choose to and actually go and meet objectives that you want to do that aren't tied to just going to college. Yes, it's fun. It's fun. I had fun. Most people, I know, but most people.
COVID kind of ruined that.
Oh, sure. But again, we can have fun anyway, but I promise it's really just sad and depressing if someone's best life and everything they cling on to in their life is a college identity because of something they experienced a few years ago, a few decades ago, whatever. That's sad and depressing. You're more than that. Life should be more than that. Come on. We're not just going and spending. First of all, University of Texas is a massive school anyway, so
it is.
It's just like, go there versus something out of state and expensive. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with a lot of what I said. That was more opinion-based stuff anyway, because you can't factually say that it's depressing that, you know, someone just clings out of college and that's their entire life. But that's just my opinion, and it is depressing. What are we going to do about you, though? What are we going to do?
I need a higher paying job.
You need a higher paying job or you need to work double the hours.
They will only let you work up to 35, so.
Then we go get a second job.
Yeah.
Rent, you pay nothing.
No.
You pay anything for utilities? No. And so you're living there completely for free. You don't contribute to anything?
No.
Okay, perfect. Good, because we really don't have the room.
But like I said, if I don't go with my dad's plan, he's probably going to kick me out.
Is he really that much of an...
He is really a stickler with that education. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an addict. He needs to stop. I swear there's more to this life than a piece of paper on a wall. My goodness, people are sad. Granted,
this is a man that has a doctorate in education, so.
Well, then, so he really is an addict.
Yeah.
$1,028 is your minimum monthly payments. Minimum monthly payments just on your debt, but you bring in $1,348.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing. Gas did $90. I'm not putting tolls in your budget because you. We're not taking toll roads. How do groceries and everything work at the house? Do you eat what's there? Are you able to put stuff on the list and they buy it? Okay, so I can put $0? Okay, and you're no longer going to eat out ever.
Yeah.
That's just not an option in your situation. I'd love to get a little bit of wiggle room, but I can't. Your Apple bills, Spotify, Peacock. Again, I'd love to get a little wiggle room. You simply don't have wiggle room. You're canceling all subscriptions. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry that I have to be so strict on it. It just really doesn't make sense. Affirms? How many are the affirms done, or do they continue?
Still owe like $300 on them.
So that adds an extra $42 a month onto your debt. So, oh man, okay. So $300 for affirm. There's good ways to do it. There's bad ways to do it. You did it the bad way. Okay. Any other minimum monthly expenses you need to survive? Do you okay, because I know we're just in the society we live in. Just, I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel happy and stuff like that. Makeup, all that stuff. What you need to survive. Can I give you $50 a month and is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, so debt minimum monthly payments. Oh, what's your phone bill? Do you pay for it?
Yeah.
How much is that?
$220.
Or underwater. That pushes $220?
Yeah.
Okay, so your phone is financed.
Yeah. No, not the phone, because like I said, the phone is paid for, but it's the service. Like the actual like service, you know what I mean?
It's not just $220. Through who?
Through AT&T. It's the service plus the Apple Watch plus the iPad.
Oh, so that minimum monthly payment you gave me, that minimum monthly payment you gave me was included self-service.
Yeah, it's all together.
Okay. Then yeah, that won't be in the budget. Okay. Hey, AT&T, what are you doing, guys? Stop preying on people. Okay. Anything else? Medical, this.
Oh, yeah, I need 30 for prescriptions, but my dad sometimes pays for those.
Can we rely on him to do it, or should we put it in the budget?
No, he'll pay for those.
Okay.
I sound kind of privileged. Oh, my. Compared to others.
Well, listen, I don't have kids and they're smelly and stinky anyway, but if I did, and if they were in a terrible debt situation, this is how they found themselves in, but they're coming to a position where they're like waking up to it and they're willing to do the sacrifice, I would be happy to support, not enable, but support them. Mm-hmm. There is nothing wrong with him wanting to support you if you are actually doing what's right. Now, if you're continuing around like in the most recent statements we just saw, and he's supporting, then yes, that's enablement, and that's not going to help you in your future.
Like, even I went through him with my debt total, and it came out to about what you're saying. He was like, well, at least you're breaking even. And I'm like, Dad, that's not smart. And he was like, change the conversation. I don't want to talk about this. Yeah, immediately.
Because I'm sure. Okay, I know. I've joked on him. I've goofed on him, and I've on him a bit. Like, I'm sure he's a very smart person in a lot of different ways. Just when it comes to money and debt, he's a dumb. We're not listening to him.
Anyways, yeah.
$1,210 what you need to survive, meaning you have $100 left on a monthly basis, essentially. $100, $138.
I can't do $100, can I?
Because I'd want you to have a 1 month emergency fund, then I want you to start paying off the debt, and it's going to take like 25 years, so it just doesn't make sense. I want to take a brief moment to thank today's video sponsor, Aura. Are you sick and tired, just like me and everyone else, honestly, of receiving endless spam calls every day? I mean, look at this. Let me open my phone. Look at this. This right here is all spam. It's crap, except for one friend. There's one friend phone call. The rest is spam. Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. But with Aura, they can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. Let Aura handle that for you. Aura also does a lot more to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. It's really easy to set up so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft, insurance, and more. You can get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on other things with peace of mind. Go to aura.com/hammer or check out the link at the top of the description below. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this episode.
I have to get another job.
That's the only option. What I would do is I'd either get another job or get a second job, whatever it is. I'd minimum be trying to bring in about $3,000 a month, which I know you can find in Houston. I know for a fact you can find in Houston.
I don't know where, but you're probably right.
Because I know you can walk into Jimmy John's, of which I've cut back on. But you walk in there, they're like, oh, please work for us. We will do anything and everything in the world. There's places that'll work. There's training, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's stuff you have to do. But you also have a degree. You have resume experience. You can walk into a service-based industry and we can get you a job. And you can work two of them at the same time and equal about $3,000 a month. Everything is easier said than done. You actually have to put in the work. You have to construct a resume that's decent. You have to communicate with them. You have to get through an interview well, and you have to show up and work and perform. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but I know if you do the work necessary, $3,000 a month you could bring in, meaning I could have an extra $3,000 or $1,700 left on a monthly basis to start putting towards things. That's what I would do once you have that in place I would do the car thing because an extra $10,000 goes a long way in your debt payoff. I would sell the car, private sale, borrow the $15,000 in a personal loan, $5,000 pays off the car loan permanently, $10,000, boom, you get a $10,000 car, whether that be in a used lot or in a private sale. You're taking it to a mechanic and you are getting the seal of approval that it will be safe for you to drive and it will have longevity for at least a few years. It'll get you through law school. So I can't, because I don't know how much you're going to make. I don't know what you're going to do, but I would obviously take care of the affirms first. I mean, for most cases, just based on behavior things, the snowball method makes more sense, which has been around since the history of time, since debt has ever existed. And it's been around forever for a reason, because it works. You can actually start seeing progress on things. So I would pay these off smallest to largest. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know. But what I would try to do, because the car loan's the big daddy. With that being gone, bringing your biggest debt to the $15,000 you owe on the personal loan. If you go bring in $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, maybe go get a customer service job, something like that. Those are always in demand as well. I don't know if you'd be good at sales. I'm not sure, but what you could do. $3,000-$4,000, either 2 service-based jobs, work 1 actual, like career position, even though you'll only be there for a couple of years. Do it for a couple of years, and I think you might be able to knock this out.
And I literally talked about my mom about this yesterday on the phone, and she was like, I think it's just best for you to go all the way through. And I was like, Mom, go to law school so I can have my car payment and my credit card payments and take out more debt. She was like, well, you're going to have debt anyways in life. And I'm like, this isn't smart.
Okay, they just don't understand debt and finances. That's fine. We've been over that. Show them this video. That's okay. I don't know if they'll fully wake up to it, but there is just the reality of the situation where I want you to be successful. Let's get you to the place where you're going into law school successful. I mean, you're 24. You're young. Debt. You're young. So if you're going to law school at 26, I mean, that's incredible. You're starting your law career in your 30s. You can have a very successful life. So what I would do, if it takes 2-3 years, I would get a 1-month emergency fund. I would do the car trade like we talked about. And then I would pay these off smallest to largest, pay them off, work your ass off. We're probably not having a single ounce of paid for fun throughout that. I'm sorry, but that's because your future matters more than your current fun right now. And then we're probably saving up an additional 5-month emergency fund so that it's a total of 6. And then you can go into law school if you want at that point, or you can try to save a bit more to try to pay towards it. It's going to be hard to pay for it fully because it is expensive. What did you say the yearly tuition at UT was?
$30,000, $35,000, just tuition alone, not living expenses.
Law school, we want you daddy. I mean, you could find scholarships and maybe working a little.
You can't work in law school. They
won't allow you.
The law school board won't.
That's fine. But working before, if you want to take maybe an extra year, I think you could honestly cut it to like where you're only borrowing for half of it. Half of it, I think you could do that. That'll be hard. But I think what's most important, have yourself a little bit of an emergency fund, maybe even just 3 months, and pay off these bad debts. And then we go into law school. I would not do it before then.
I don't want to. I just I need to stop caring what my parents think on this one.
Yes. Love your parents. Love your parents. I want you to. Your life matters than their expectations or desires for your life. Your actual existence matters than their grand concept. So, important conversations will have to happen because you also need to continue living there for this to work. You do, unfortunately.
I've tried, but they act like they don't want to hear what I have to say. And
show them this video. And I'm happy to correspond in a couple of emails or something like that as well. Okay. But show them this video because I'm going to support you as much as I can because this is very dire and this is very scary and your future really does matter. And I want you to succeed. I don't know if I'll still be doing YouTube at the time or anything, but when you're like 30...
Oh, that's quite some time.
That's quite some time, but you're done with law school. You're in the early parts of your law career. I think, and then you attack those student loans, anything above 5%, 4%, as quick as you can.
Oh, we didn't talk about my current ones, but like I said, I won't have any payments on them.
More than the $27,000?
No, I'm saying those, yeah.
Oh, well, right now, I mean, they're just in deferment, so I'm not even thinking about them right now. You'll put them in your Snowball eventually. You might minimum monthly payment until they're paid off in a traditional 10-year plan anyway, because the interest rates are quite low. Because once you pay off anything above 4 or 5% after your law degree, whatever you take out, I would minimum monthly payment the rest if they're lower interest, and then I'm gonna probably start contributing about 30% on a monthly basis to retirement. But luckily, if your needs are less than 50% or less, and you're contributing 30% to your retirement, once you get well into your law career and you start making some decent money, even if it's just 20% that goes to fun, that's a lot of fun that can be lived. More fun than you've ever lived. I think your future is bright. I think your future is actually really bright, and I think you're going to make your parents proud. I think you're going to make me proud. I think you're going to make everyone in the audience proud. It's just going to require about 2 to 3 years of intense sacrifice now, then sacrifice through law school, not continuing the habits you did through undergrad. And then, dude, you're set up for success. Hard work now, but it is worth it for
30 years.
No, it's going to be longer than that. You're not going to live. You're not going to. Well, just based on modern day medicine, I think you're going to live well beyond 60.
Yeah.
Like, let's aim for 90. Why not? Let's go to 100. Let's just go
grandpa,
wild.
like I told you, he just died. He died at 104. So,
Look at that. We got the genes ready to support us. So that's incredible. So you have decades and decades and decades and decades of a grand life to live. Sacrifice for a half a decade? Totally worth it.
I agree. And I'm willing to work.
Good. Well, it makes me nervous. Again, we just saw, these were the most recent statements. The behavior has not changed there. The care has not changed. Hopefully this conversation is a fire under your... That's why I go so hard to light a fire under your... Because this is the conversation I wish someone had with me a decade, if not more, ago. I have the exact conversation I wish someone would have with me. So that's why I dig in and go hard. I'm a little nervous because of that. Those are the recent things. So we need an immediate behavior change. And we need to change the psychology around this and how we're presenting life. But hopefully this conversation has helped in regard to that.
It has.
But
like I told you, I've been avoiding the statements. So looking over them, it shows how terrible my habits are.
Just to be real, this is one of the scariest financial situations I've ever seen.
Ever?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You're overdrafting, you're not making your payments. It's terrifying. And you don't make enough to survive. But on the other side of it, 5 years, 6 years from now, you're living an incredible life. So take one of the worst finances I've ever seen, if not the worst, and turn it into the best finances I've ever seen. You have that ability. You have that ability. Change your psychology around this, change your behaviors, and do it. Kick ass.
I want to do it. I will do it.
Any final questions? Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I have a lot of work to do, and I need to start now.
I really wish her the best of luck. It's going to be a hard and long road, but I think Hammer Financial Score, she guessed it. I think we all know it's a 0 out of 10. It can't be better than that. So, but best of luck. Keep us updated and let us help you along the way. Constant communication as always. Check out all the resources linked in the description below. They are what I use or would use in specific situations. If you want to be in an episode of Financial Audit and you're able to make it down to Austin, Texas, fill out the survey in the description below.